Hello students, welcome back to the session. In the last session we were talking about the frames that we use in HTML. So in this session let us talk about the different terms, that is PHP. PHP means personal home page. It is a server-side scripting language. A server-side scripting language that is designed for web development but also used as a general purpose programming language. This code can be mixed with the HTML code or it can be used in combination with various other engines and web frameworks. This PHP code is usually processed by the PHP interpreter. I think you know the meaning of interpreter. And next is your XML. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. Extensible Markup Language. This is a markup language for web documents that encloses the structured contents or the multimedia contents. This was designed to describe the data. The tags that we are using in XML are not predefined. You have to define your own tags. That is, it is self-descriptive. But you cannot use XML instead of HTML. XML is used to describe the data while HTML is used to format and display the data. Remember, XML is used to describe the data, whereas HTML is used to format and display the data. Okay, this XML is a hardware independent tool for carrying the information in www, and it is very easy to learn also. So now, as we said, the differences between XML and HTML. You cannot replace HTML. XML is not a replacement for HTML. That is separate. This is separate. And the purpose of XML and HTML is different. XML is used to describe the data, whereas HTML is used to display, format and display the data. That is, XML, what is the data? Your focus is on what the data is. Okay, here what data is, whereas in HTML you are using it to design the data, display data with the focus on how will the data looks. How will the data look? Okay, so HTML is about displaying the information and XML is about carrying the information. This displays the data and this carries the data. Now, when we are talking about, if we are talking about the features of XML, with XML, as we said earlier, you can invent your own tags. We are not going in detail with this. For example, you are not going to make use of to, from and all in HTML, right? You are going, according to our purpose, the user is going to create that, because XML, it doesn't have any predefined tags we are going to use, whereas in HTML, P, that is your paragraph tag, HR tag, all those are predefined tags. Okay, in XML it is not predefined. That is, the XML allows the user or the author to define his or her own tags according to the structure of the document that they are going to make use of. And XML tags are case sensitive. I think you know what do you mean by case sensitive. The capital letter and the small letters are different. Now, for example, if you are saying sending a message, giving this message. Okay, you are typing the matter and you give it as message. As you know, this is the start tag and this is the end tag. These are known as the container tags. So see here, M and M. This is a capital letter, this is a small letter. So this is not valid. If you are going to give it, you have to give it in the same way. Message, give the matter and message. Okay, so this is what is right. Now, and another feature of your XML is XML separates the data from HTML. That is, you can store the data in separate XML files. And also XML simplifies data transport. That is, it reduces the difficulties that you will have in transferring the data between the different applications. And XML can also be used to create new internet languages. These are the features of your XML. And an XML element, the next term that we use in XML is XML element. So this is what is everything, that is including the element start tag to including the elements end tag. So element can contain other elements, attributes, text, all those things. Okay, and you have DHTML. DHTML means dynamic HTML. This is nothing but an extension of HTML. This enables the web page to respond to an user input. That is, whatever the input is given by the user, this responds to that without sending the request. That is, without asking the server. It displays the web content. This keeps, as you know, the web content keeps on upgrading, changing. So depending on the many parameters, however you are seeing, it displays the web content. DHTML is dynamic, as we said, as you run the program. It is a term, DHTML is a term used to describe a combination of HTML, the JavaScript, and the W3C standard DOM, and how to display the HTML element that is given by your CSS. It creates the more dynamic web pages. JavaScript is the standard scripting language for internet. And the features for DHTML is, it is dynamic in nature. It can be used to create animations, games, applications to provide a new way of navigating through the websites. And there is no plugin required for building a dynamic page. No plugin required for building a dynamic page. It facilitates the use of events, methods, and reuse of the code. This is about DHTML. And next you have your web scripting. Web scripting means it is a process of editing of scripts using scripting languages to automatically execute the jobs that should be done by a certain program. So it is a group of commands. Script means it is a group of commands, and these are used in a web page. So script may be written for a variety of purposes using scripting languages. So this will be interpreted and automatically executed by the program or the script engines. So environments that can be automatically done through scripting means software applications, the web pages within a web browsers, all those things. So client side scripts means the set of programs that are executed by the client, that is the person or the user who is using the browser. The client-side scripts are used to get the data from the user's screen. You have two types, that is your client-side scripts, where that is the set of programs executed at client side, okay, by the user's web browser. So these are used to get the data from the user's screen. And similarly, you have server side scripting. This is useful for completion of task at the server end. Useful for completion of tasks at the server end, and then sends the result, results to the client end. Okay, so and this server side scripting is used when the information is sent to the server to be processed at the server end, and they produce output in a format that is understandable by the web browsers, and which will then be sent to the user's computer. And the user cannot see the script's source code, and the documents produced by the server side scripts may contain client side scripts also. The use of the server side scripts are like password protection, customization, form processing, dynamic editing of a page. Similarly, some of the scripting languages are JavaScript, Dart, VBScript. All those are your, and also your Python. Okay, and the next term that we are using is your hosting or web hosting. This means that you are designing the website for the individual organizations. So a web hosting service, it is a type of internet hosting service that allows the individuals and the organizations to make the websites that can be seen through the www, that is World Wide Webs. And web hosts are companies that provide space on a server owned or leased for use by the clients, that provides internet connectivity in a data center. There are different types of web hosting services, that is you have your free web hosting service, and shared web hosting service, dedicated web hosting service, and co-location web hosting service. Okay, so this free web hosting service, as the name suggests, you did not pay any money. The companies did not any money, but the services will be limited. Whereas in a shared web hosting service, this website can belong to a person on the same server as the similar other sites also. And dedicated web hosting service means the user will get their web servers and will have a own control. You are the only person that is going to use it. You have the full administrative power to access the server, and you will be responsible for the security and maintenance of that server. And whereas co-location means this is similar to your web hosting service, but you own the server, and it will be the physical space will be taken by the company which is providing you with it, and they will take care of the service. But this is more powerful and expensive. As we said, the user will own the server, and the hosting company, whoever is giving you, they will own the physical space. I think we did not go into the steps used for web hosting. Just go in detail about that. As we said, domain registration has to be done. That is processing of acquiring a domain from a domain name register is known as a domain registration. And with this we come to the end of the chapter, that is web designing, and also the end of the syllabus. But we have left out 3 of the chapters in the beginning, that is the Boolean algebra, data structures, and logic gates. In the next session we let us go through those chapters. If you finish this 3 chapters, we'll be finishing with the syllabus for this. Thank you.